All right, we're live. What's going on?
What's up? Round 2, baby.
Yeah,
Here we
so
go.
maybe we loop the audience in on this one real quick. So last week we started to record. Something happened with my browser; it crashed. I jumped back in. We thought it was still everything was still working fine, and then at the end of the session, we realized we lost the whole thing.
So there's your first pro tip. If you're using Riverside, then if your browser crashes for whatever reason, you have to restart the recording.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, we got the tactics from the last episode that didn't go live, and I think I got a couple more. So maybe you want to start with the ones that you had.
Cool, yeah. So this one was super simple, but I really liked it, which is simple hack to make screen share content better. Increase the size of your cursor. Takes 5 seconds. You lose nothing. Probably 10% of people find your content easier to keep track of. So I did that. Hopefully you can see my cursor okay. At first I did like this massive cursor. It was ginormous, but I think this is a nice balance where it's not obnoxious, but you can still see it pretty good. Yeah. So just like a tiny tip, but I like these tiny tactical things because it really does take 5 seconds.
Where you're using that in every single video that you record now, or like is it like for VSLs? Is it for like YouTube videos? Anything
so
specific?
The cursor size is constant. So like I just increased the size of it, and so it just for anything that I record, it's just bigger now.
I love it. Tactical, actionable.
There's a quick one. I'll share another one while I'm here. So this was my Typeform. You could see June 17th through June 30th. I'm looking at just mobile because on desktop, actually desktop is accurate here. I realized that I was having an issue with my like one of my emails. I got a bunch of bot clicks and stuff, so it was throwing things off.
Skewing the data.
But I guess I could look at this. So all devices you see right here is 28% during this period. About the same for mobile. And before, my first question was, what is your email? And I was getting a 98% drop off. Again, I'm not 100% sure that was accurate because I had the view count was a little bit mixed up. But regardless, the full completion rate from start to finish was about 28%. Now, if we come and look at the last week and a half, check this out. It's at 46% now. So not quite a double, but pretty close. This is like an 80% increase in throughput. I'll show you what I mean. If I go to desktop, it says like way more views. I don't know exactly how that happened, but I finally figured that out. But what I did is I switched it to make these like super low cognitive load. So are you currently posting on LinkedIn? Yes or no? You can see there's only a 22% drop off. If LinkedIn was consistently bringing in qualified leads, could your business handle the extra volume right now? Which is also they're thinking that that's what my service is going to do for them. Zero drop off there. What's the main thing you want LinkedIn to do for you? 4 questions, slightly heavier, 4 options to click. What's your role? 4 options to click. Like no drop off. How would you describe your LinkedIn right now? And I give a couple of options. When are you looking to get this handled? Couple of options. Do you want us to review your profile and show you exactly where the leads are leaking before we talk? Another like no-brainer. Yes or no? Then finally, this is the first friction question. What is your primary social profile? So you can see there's a 32% drop off there, but that's pretty far down. So I've got a decent amount of relevant like BANT information. Where did you hear about Tribe Digital? Just because I like to track that. Everybody filled that out. There's no drop off. And then, okay, great. Before we can submit this application, we just need this information. And we get a lot. So this is the part that's confusing to me. Do you see how it says no drop off here, but it goes from 41 to 29? That doesn't make sense. I don't understand that completely. Maybe a bunch of people did drop off here and it's not capturing it.
There's like I see what you're saying. Yeah. Well, you did make some changes though, so maybe that's why the data is kind of skewed. I don't know.
Oh yeah, that is why. You're right. So this would maybe be
like 20.
I don't know exactly the difference because I was asking some of these questions on my previous form, and so the data is carrying over.
Yeah.
Regardless, before we can submit this application, we just need this information, name, email, phone. And then after that, I ask for current annual revenue, which if they're above $1 million, they get sent to my Calendly. If they're 500 to $1 million, I can reach out to them if they look like they're a good fit, but I won't if they don't. And then if they're below 500K a year, I just don't do anything with them right now.
Interesting.
Point is, massive increase in throughput. So that's made a big difference.
I love that. I remember we kind of brainstorming some things, and I think a friend of yours recommended this. I'm curious.
Yeah.
How did you overall? Did you end up adding or having more questions, or were you around the same number of questions that you had before? You just mostly tweaked the order and added the low hanging fruit ones at the beginning.
There's at least 4 more questions, like 4 or 5 more.
That's fascinating. So even though you added more questions, you basically doubled your throughput there in the funnel.
Yeah. And I get more relevant information. So it's been a win-win all around.
Where do you have the partial submit part?
Let me see. If I go to workflow, no, it's in content here.
Content, yeah.
Just right before the annual revenue.
I see.
So if they don't finish the whole thing, I still get their contact info.
That's awesome, dude. Did you do anything with the question where you said you want us to review your profile before the call, or is that like one of those not trick questions, but like questions to get the momentum?
I do it regardless. I do it regardless, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
I will review their profile. Period.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I might. I don't think I'm at the point yet where it makes sense to have an application. I think I'm fine continuing to have the Calendly for now, but that's a counterintuitive, very, very powerful tactic.
Yes. Yeah, it's crazy because I just started spending I'll probably spend I'll spend somewhere between 5 and 10K this month on ads, and get almost double the number of leads just by making it a tiny Typeform tweak, which is just insane.
The CRO game. It's a fascinating game.
Yes, it is a game of just efficiency.
Yeah. Okay, I'll share one that I've been thinking a lot about. I think last week you asked me if I would go for it, and I think I'm gonna go for it. And I think I have a name for it too. So up until very recently, if somebody asked me if it was a good idea to have a LinkedIn newsletter, I'll tell them that was a stupid thing to do and that it wasn't worth their time. But I think I've changed my mind about it. But there's some caveats. So basically what I've realized recently is after seeing some people use the format, I thought, whenever I see somebody kind of sag, when everyone's sagging, I pay attention, right? And so I, in the course of probably 2 weeks, I saw 2 or 3 people using LinkedIn newsletters in a very interesting way. And that was enough for me to pick my curiosity and then start to dig deeper. And I did some research. I talked to some people, and I actually think there is something there. But it's not a newsletter. I don't think LinkedIn newsletters are a replacement for your newsletter because, and just for everyone who doesn't know how it works, it's essentially the reason why I wouldn't call it a real newsletter is because you don't really get people's email addresses when they quote unquote subscribe to the thing. But it's still a very interesting distribution mechanism because when somebody subscribes to your LinkedIn newsletter, a couple things happen. First, when you first launch it and make it official, all the people in your network on LinkedIn get a notification and they're invited to subscribe. And so
do you know if that's followers as well as connections?
That's a good question. I'm not sure. I would actually think it's followers over connections. Probably
that would be everybody then, because all of your connections also follow you.
Correct. Yeah. So I would think it's followers. But that's, and especially if you have a relatively big audience, that's a easy way to get it going without much promotion. So that's the first lever, or the first benefit. The second thing is that once you have it going and people are subscribed to it, everyone who is subscribed to it gets a notification in the actual app, and like their notifications when they, somebody engages with their post. Along with those notifications that they get, they also get a notification that you made a new or published a new newsletter, and they also get an email notifying them that you just made a newsletter or published a newsletter on LinkedIn, so they can go and
Do
check
you
it
know
out.
if they read it in their email feed, or does it take them to LinkedIn to read it?
I think, I'm not sure. I actually appreciate these questions. I need to check on that one, but I think it takes you, like, it has a button or a CTA that then takes you to the actual
Gotcha.
thing. Because I mean, if they're trying to optimize for time on the app, they're probably trying to take you there. But yeah, and so with all of these different things in mind, the way I'm thinking about it is, it's a cool format. It's different. It's long form. Right now, everyone on LinkedIn is complaining that their feed is freaking filled with AI slop. And I think there might be a little bit of a renaissance for long form content on LinkedIn because of that reason. So that's interesting because, again, it's a different medium than the usual LinkedIn post character limit that tends to be more like short, mid form ish. And then when you add all of these other kind of distribution mechanisms that it offers, then it becomes like for me, the way I'm thinking about it is like a new post format that I can use every single week, and that I know if I do a good job with the content, it's going to perform really well because people are getting notified. It's a different thing than usual. It's longer form. And yeah. And the last thing is, all the other tactics that we've talked about before, like 2 steps, having links for your newsletter, you can still leverage those. And since you're also getting additional distribution on the post itself or the piece of content itself, then you're probably more likely to also get more email subscribers out of it. And so even though it's not a real newsletter, I think it can actually help you grow your real newsletter faster.
Yeah. The way that I'm thinking about it is a lot of social platforms will have like the little bell notification so that if you hit that for a specific creator, you get notified every time they post. It's basically doing that with everybody. And then I'm sure, like, for my notifications, I've filtered out, like, I don't want to get those announcements. Yeah. So people might opt out, but a lot of people won't. And so you get some automatic distribution that's probably, like, I'm curious to see what the actual view count is going to look like for you.
Yeah.
Just how it compares with, like, an actual LinkedIn post. But yeah, I wonder if it eats into your LinkedIn. Like, if you posted it on a Friday, as well as a regular LinkedIn post, is it tied to the algorithm? Is it going to eat into your LinkedIn post of the day, or is it completely separate?
Well, I would treat it as my LinkedIn post of the day, and I think when you
so you wouldn't do a LinkedIn post plus that; it would just be one.
Well, the thing is, I'm not entirely sure of all the little nuances because I haven't gone live with it, but I'm pretty sure that when you publish a new newsletter, they give you the option to like make a post kind of promoting it, and so you have a LinkedIn post that's then connected to the newsletter, and yeah, that's kind of my understanding from what I've seen as a consumer. Like reading that or consuming that, I haven't gone live with it yet. But
cool, man.
I wouldn't double do it though. Like I wouldn't do like a regular post and then a newsletter.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to see how it goes. I'll let you be the guinea pig there, and if it goes well, then maybe I'll copy you. And maybe I'll roll it out for clients too. I mean, it seems like a good opportunity potentially.
I agree. I think so. Well, I'll keep you posted and maybe we share the results next week.
And I mean, I guess it depends. So just some other potentials with it is, assuming that it's a great long form piece, you could also turn it into a LinkedIn article, which I'm going to talk about a little bit.
No, is it different from the newsletters?
Yeah, I believe so. Let me double check this.
Yeah, let's double check because I think it's the same.
Because I know that. Is it the same? The articles are the newsletter?
When you're looking at someone's feed and you're like selecting what kind of content you want to see from them, I think it's the same thing.
Who has a LinkedIn newsletter we could take a look at?
I think Jay Klaus has one.
Okay, I'm going to pull him up. I'll share my screen in 1 second. Okay, so we have J. Klaus, get my weekly newsletter, which will take you to Kit, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, creator science. So I asked an expert to roast my podcast on what 50,000 influencer campaigns reveal about brand deals. So if I come back here, so I see newsletters. That's what we were talking about. Where's articles, though?
I think it's the same thing. I think they replaced it with newsletters.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Let me look up, what's this guy's name? Jake Ward. I know he's posted. See, his says articles here.
Interesting.
And he does not have a newsletter.
What do you see there? Huh.
So I'm a little bit confused between the two. But let me tell you, with articles, what's interesting is I read this from him, actually. Why you should be publishing articles on LinkedIn. So this was really interesting. I'll just show you right here. A couple interesting. LinkedIn Pulse. So that's what the articles are on. That's if you look at my domain, it says linkedin.com/pulse.
Yep.
Built for SEO and LLM citations. It ranks for over 1.3 million keywords with a domain rating of 98. Yep. So these are a lot of LinkedIn posts are gated. You have to log in to be able to see them, but articles are not. And so he shows how he wrote this article and he became the top search ranking for programmatic SEO in 2026, which is like a decent keyword. Yeah. And if you look at this, you can see Reddit is where is most cited by LLMs, very closely followed by LinkedIn. I was looking into this because I have a client who is getting their most of their leads are coming from SEO and AEO. And so I was trying to see, is there a way that we can amplify that using their LinkedIn? And so we might be trying articles, which, I guess I need to figure out the difference between an article and a LinkedIn newsletter. But I think there's a lot of opportunity even with SEO here.
We got humbled. But yeah, I actually, funnily enough, I built a lead magnet for a client a few months ago on why LinkedIn is one of the best platforms for improving your SEO, but also AEO. And there's a lot of things. Even there's little tactical things that you can do with your regular posts and with your profile to optimize for it. But basically the whole takeaway is what you just shared of in general, LinkedIn is the second one or the second biggest source for citations after Reddit. But in the for anything that's professional or business related, LinkedIn is actually the number one. And so it's huge. And I won't dig into the details too much here, but simple things as following certain structures for your post, sharing stats, anything that improve the credibility and the likelihood that the thing that the LLM is sharing with the user is correct and accurate increases the likelihood that you also get ranked. And so it's a super interesting rabbit hole.
Yeah. So that's really interesting. Maybe we could touch on the last thing, which you actually texted me about this morning, which is that new feature that they're sharing, that you could have the LinkedIn post. You want to talk about that?
Yeah. So this is another thing, right? Every time I log on my feed, I'm just looking for abnormalities, things that people are doing differently that I can, because that's where the arbitrage is always at. And so I've been noticing some of these LinkedIn people, people who talked about LinkedIn growth and LinkedIn hacks. These people are making posts that I don't even know what to call it. Because when you go to LinkedIn and try to make a post, besides just the text box for you to enter your copy, there's a couple of different options at the bottom, right? And so you can usually the most common options are you have it there. So you can create an event, you can attach media, you can share do a poll. But there is this one that is it the one that so celebrate an occasion. And so it's what would you call this? It's a post format.
It's almost like an announcement post, but you're letting people know Like instead of just saying, I've got an announcement, like if you click on this, it basically makes it an announcement.
So what happens if you click there? Okay,
You could
you have different
choose which
options.
milestone. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it gives you different options. It's product launch, work anniversary, new position, new educational milestone, and new certification. And so I don't know what it is about it, but I'm seeing people use this thing. And I think for whatever reason, and like sometimes it's not like, sometimes people do like a new educational milestone. And it's like, I hit 37,000 followers. So like they're not strictly
Yeah.
following the thing. But for whatever reason, just using this different type of, again, I don't know what I call it, but like milestone based format, I think they're getting a little bit of a boost in reach.
Yeah. The reason I asked is if you could only do it one time is I know if you change your job, you can choose to like let your network know.
Mm-hmm.
Like let your network know that you just landed a new job or something.
Yeah.
And that's the format. You can just do that on any post, which I had no idea you could do that. So that's kind of, it's cool.
You can do it. And
so for an introduction post or for an announcement post, like I think we should both try it out and see how it goes.
Yeah, I'm going to try it next week and see what happens. I'm very interested to see kind of if it has any tangible, meaningful like impact, but I'm seeing people use it. Sometimes it's kind of random. But yeah, I think there's something there.
Yeah. You do the introduction. I don't know if you ever saw this where it's like, I'm humbled and honored to say that I'm humbled and honored. It's like a LinkedIn meme making fun of cringiness.
Yeah, I saw that one.
I love that.
I love those LinkedIn jokes.
Me too. Dude, you're flying on LinkedIn right now. I was now that I go to your account every day to go and comment on your latest post, and you're moving 36,756. Yeah,
I would have to check like what's been the growth rate, but it still feels low compared to the golden days of the giveaway frenzy.
Sure, you've been pretty consistent. It looks like though with the one a week.
Yeah, I've been ever since we had that, or we did that episode, kind of breaking down what we could do better. I've been pretty consistent with it.
Yeah, I've missed a few weeks since then, so you're inspiring me. I gotta keep on it. Cool, man. Let's jump into another one.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I wrote this note down, but I can't remember exactly. Like I know, so updating, this is like another tiny tactical one, but if you haven't updated your profile picture in like 3 or 4 years, you probably look different. So highly recommend. I don't know if you remember my previous profile picture. I had like kind of a thick beard. Yes. And I've been basically beardless for the last like 3 years. And so I finally, like so many people would do a double take when I jumped on a call with them, be like, oh, that's you. And like, so I finally updated it, and that's been way better. I have a client who just updated it, and like it looks a lot better.
Yeah.
But you also age, and so like you don't want to look like your younger self if that's not who you look like. And then the last thing, this is why I wrote it. I just remembered. Again, this is a funny story. I got on a call with this girl who seems like she had a super illustrious career, really, really intelligent. She looks European, Caucasian, like a pretty attractive person, right? So I get on the call and they're on a sales call. I'm selling them my service. And the first thing I notice is like the person that I'm talking with looks nothing like the profile picture. And so I'm actually speaking to like this 60-year-old Asian lady that's quite overweight. And like, I was like so thrown off for a second. It was the exact same person. Like she didn't just use it as a profile picture. She was including pictures of that person, some of which were AI generated, but I assumed it was based off of, actual pictures of her. Yeah. But she was using that all over her account. And she looks completely different. And so I thought it was hilarious. Like maybe I don't know if she like gets more calls or like gets more attention because of that.
She catfished you on LinkedIn.
I got on a sales call. I got catfished.
That's hilarious, man. Yeah, well,
it was actually really funny. I didn't ask her about it, but it was pretty weird.
They close.
It was probably the worst sales call I've ever had. It was like she just talked the whole time. Anyway, we'll move past that.
And another pro tip on that one. So don't follow Matthew's recommendation if you just had a baby, because you're gonna look way more tired. And so I'm actually, yeah. I've had like a funny, and this, I don't think it's happened with prospects. It's only happened with like close friends or like people who like we're kind of more of like buddies online. But I've had people be like, "Oh, dude, you look way more tired than you look in your picture." And so,
wait, in real life or
no?
So this is a nice picture.
Yeah, that's a nice picture.
You're saying compared to this,
I look like shit now, and so people are like, "Oh, dude, you look way better on your picture." And so I just have to explain that I just had a baby and I'm deprived half of the time.
Yes, that's so funny.
Okay, I love that one. Let's see, I got a couple of good ones here too. This was actually something I think, I don't remember if I saw it on my feed first or if you shared it, but I think I thought it was super cool. So Nathan May, who we both know, he has this group with a bunch of other founders. But to start, I think they co-work. I don't know if they still do it, but I think they co-work pretty much every single day together. And like they're building all of them, they're building their business and working in person every single day, which is super cool. But they also have this like group chat where it's kind of virtual, where every single month, all of them share their revenue numbers and profit numbers, and they have like a leaderboard. Yeah, there it is. I just thought that was super, super, super cool. And I wish I had that. And I think the reason why I bring it up, and it's kind of a tactic, is because it inspires you to like fucking, if all of your friends are also trying to build a similar business as you, or even if it's not as close, they're just building a business just like you, and they're crushing it, that I would find extremely inspiring. And then, you can also kind of ask them what's working for them and learn from what they're doing. And so I just thought this was kind of first, like a super cool thing to do and to have access to. And I think anyone can create their own version of this over time, especially if you already have connections online and people that you know online. And then second, I feel like it's, kind of an underrated cheat code for like growing faster and reaching your goals faster too.
Yeah, I loved his insights. It gives us real-time benchmarks, so you can see kind of the state of the market. There's some proprietary data. It raises the bar for what's normal. So you have people that are, doing 4x the revenue that you are at the same age as you in a similar type of business. You're like, man, I can do more. He says that it's the reason why he's done some of these launches, because he wants to hit bigger numbers. Apparently they share their revenue and profit, except this month, for whatever reason, they didn't do profit. But and then accountability. You don't want to be at the bottom, Jake. Just kidding. But no, I thought that was a great idea too. And I did something similar before where I would do, not quite this, but I would do basically an investor newsletter with my business. And I would send out the numbers every month. Here's how many clients I have. Here's how much revenue. Here's how much profit I did. And I just sent it to like 20 or 30 people that were all super rich and like that I thought would be interested in hearing what I had to say. And I did it for like 18 months straight. Has its downsides too, but pretty cool to have some accountability.
That's super cool. I didn't know you had done that. Did anything cool come out of that?
Yeah, I've stayed in touch with a lot of those people because of it. And they feel like they got to know me. It's basically a private newsletter where you share all the specifics, and it's invite only. I stopped it. It was the mortgage business that I was running previously. It was a mortgage processing business, and that vehicle, very, very difficult to to scale and improve. So I got sick of sending the same report. Like not that many changes.
It hurts.
Yeah. Yes.
That's hilarious. Would you do it again? Something similar?
I am hesitant just because I wouldn't want to stop again, but Ankur Nagpal, he did that with Carrie when he started it. He wanted to just document it. And like that's pretty cool. I think it's just like it's called an investor newsletter because that's what a lot of startups will do.
Yeah.
So if I were to ever do like a true startup, like with big potential, I would love to do that. Otherwise, maybe a little bit less interested.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'd prefer to have a group, kind of like what we just talked about.
Well, maybe this is our one of our call to actions today. If you would like to be in a group and you think we could get along, hit us up.
Yes, and we should do some brainstorming too because it would be fun to do.
Mm-hmm.
Probably need like a similar number of people, like 5 to 10.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Got any more tactics?
Let me see. I already talked about the articles, SEO stuff. I guess I'm just learning a lot with ads right now. So I'll just tell you some of my stats that I found interesting. So my I guess I could just I'll just share my screen.
Sharing how the sausage is made here.
Exactly. Let me make this a little bigger, easier to see. Let's go last 28 days. Okay, so you can see right here, I'm only tracking qualified calls. So how this is tracked is if somebody hits my confirmation page, that means they're doing over $1 million a year. So it's costing me $380 per qualified call, which is pretty solid. And then if I look at the last like 7 days, did it update? Yeah, it did update. Let's see, last we'll do 20th through the 23rd. So I've started to notice this creeping up a lot in the last week, especially in the last like 2 or 3 days. I've spent like, I don't know, $700 and I've gotten 0 calls. And so one thing is like the frequency is getting up, but for whatever reason, my ads are just like, I don't know if they're fatigued, they're just not working as well. And so I know that I need to go create some new ad creatives. Anyway, that's super interesting. All of these like I'm paying somebody who's helping me, and they kind of showed me all of the metrics to track. Yeah, anything you want to dig into specifically?
No, this is super cool to see. I love seeing you. You're the same way I'm gonna be your guinea pig with the LinkedIn newsletter. You're being my guinea pig with like the Facebook ads for services right now. I think my question was, what's the allocation between static creatives and video creatives that you currently are running?
So I have 6 statics, and so I had 15 total. 6 were statics, so 9 were video. This static was actually my best. It looks like I booked 6 calls in the last 30 days. Nice. For $262 cost per call.
Yeah,
it has the most spend by far. So if I just sort it by spend, then a random like organic post was my second most spent. Gary Tan. So I don't know if you remember where he shares like how LinkedIn crushes as a marketing channel. So I'm just like green screen over the top of that. Those have been my top 3, but the static was the number 1.
And 2 of those were top performing Instagram posts from you, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Are you still posting daily on Instagram?
Yeah, I am. A lot of it's tweet screenshots, but we have some videos going up every week too.
That's good. No, well, I'll share another tactic that I wanted to share that I saw that kind of it's a good segue from there. I'll just share my screen. Let me. You've gotten so much better at sharing your screen here. Here, I got it. I feel like a boomer here. This guy, Manny Reyes. So this is, well, interestingly, I think I saw this like 2 days ago, and it looks like it's an old post. But anyway, so this guy is a super smart and like experienced media buyer specifically for newsletters. I think he worked with either The Hustle or Morning Brew, like when they were like growing super quickly. And this image that he shows in this post is one of the, if not the best performing creatives that they have found specifically. That's the caveat, specifically for newsletters. So I don't know if this would work equally well for you, given that you have like a completely different type of funnel. But I think there's a very interesting takeaway that anyone can apply. And just for anyone who's just listening and not watching, basically the ad creative that he shows in this post over here is a Apple Notes screenshot that he's essentially using like as a landing page. If you look at the copy, it looks like a landing page copy. And it's worked phenomenally well for him. Now, I think at this point, everyone has seen this creative and it's probably not working as well as it used to. What I will say, and what I think the meta takeaway for all of us here is, and I think it's George Mack who tweeted this, that I really like how he's articulated. But the idea is the best marketing doesn't feel as marketing. And so how can you find ways to package whether it's your ads? I think this also applies to content, especially now with, the AIification of everything. But how can you find ways to package your ads, your content, your ideas in a way that doesn't feel like marketing? I think there's something there, and I think, it's super underrated.
Yeah, I agree. Make it look like it's another post in the feed almost.
Yeah, I think in that case, especially for paid ads, that and that kind of circles back on the fact that some of your best performing ads were like organic posts, and so that's another takeaway, right? Before starting to run paid, do organic for a while, and that'll make things much easier when you start running paid.
Yeah, and I will say, getting the leads from Facebook, it's like I can just go show them my LinkedIn and be like, hey, look, I'm doing exactly what I'm telling you I'll do for you. And that's been really nice.
Love it.
Cool, man. Any last tactic that you wanted to share?
I'll share two more just to like rapid fire to close it off.
Cool.
One is I was telling you before we started recording that most of my sales goals at the moment are coming from LinkedIn DMs. And there's a little super tactical thing that I just learned that I didn't know actually, but turns out the same way. And you've talked about the first part, which is LinkedIn is very unique in the sense that they let you send connection requests to people in your niche, essentially. And you can send up to 200 of them approximately every single week. We've also talked about the ratio, right? Do you remember what's typically the ratio of acceptance for all the connection requests that you've sent?
25 to 50%, depending on the industry.
Right. And so
if they're blank.
Yeah. And the takeaway there is like, there's a good chunk of connection requests that are not going to be accepted. And they're kind of taking up your limit, because there's only so many, there's thousands of them, but there's only so many connection requests that you can send with your own LinkedIn account. And so what I learned is that you can go back and you can withdraw the request. And then all of those people who didn't take you up on the connection request, you free up the slots again, and then you can continue to use them. And so super little tactical thing, but I thought it was cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember what that actually does. Like if you have too many, does LinkedIn flag you? Is that what happens?
I think so. Let me find the post real quick where I learned that. Yeah, pro tip, keep canceling requests that haven't been accepted past 3 weeks, because LinkedIn punishes accounts with too many outstanding requests. And so I don't know what that tactically or tangibly means, but it looks like it's not good to have a bunch of like unaccepted requests,
Yeah. Yeah, I know the tools like HeyReach, they will let you automatically do that, which is nice. Yeah. Right now I'm doing like all my stuff is manual. And so we're definitely not going back and disconnecting, and it hasn't been a problem. So I kind of question it a little bit, but regardless, it's probably the healthy thing.
Yeah, I think so. And then the last one that I'll share is leave the typos in. And what I mean by that is, in the past, having a typo in a piece of content, especially if it's a like text first type of piece of content, would be a
unprofessional.
Sign of it would be unprofessional, a sign of sloppiness. I would personally get fucking annoyed at my own typos, and it was kind of frustrating. Now, I think it's a sign of humanness, and it shows that you took the time to actually at least intervene in your writing, even if you did use AI. And I feel like we're starting to like hit a very like interesting inflection point in how much people actually do care about like seeing AI slop. I feel
Yeah.
like that's been kind of a thing for a while, but it's increasing. Like right now, my LinkedIn feed is like probably 70% of the posts that I'm seeing are people just complaining about how how bad the AI slop situation is,
Yeah.
specifically on LinkedIn. And so,
Yes.
just a little tactical thing. Besides the typos, obviously, just find ways to just continue to make it clear that there's a human writing your stuff.
Yeah, on that note, this is hilarious. One of my clients asked us to make a intentional grammatical or spelling error on like every post. So we are now like dropping switching a comma with a period, or doing no period, or like misspelling a word on purpose. I'm like, what
Yes,
is this? What does this world come to, man?
it's
Um,
crazy.
I
Yeah.
heard Sam Ovens talking on a podcast about how they still don't use AI for their coding, because it's
Mm,
like the goal isn't to code as, as many words as possible. The goal is to make features that are super elegant and get what need done, like done efficiently. And so they have AI do code reviews, and like it helps and makes them more efficient in a lot of ways, but the actual writing of code, they do it manually.
mm,
And then he also shared, like, he said that he loves the design that AI will do.
yeah.
But if you're going to write something, like, don't have AI write it. Like, it should be human written. That was his opinion, and I kind of agreed with it. So I like that. And then you sent this to me. This is the last thing I'll share here, which is, this just feels human, right? You mentioned, so like, great to connect. I solemnly swear I won't be sliding into your DMs with a virtual coffee invite, a Calendly link, or a TED talk about my offer. You're safe. Like, this is just funny. It's not something an AI would really say. It feels very human, and like, it's from Harry Potter. Um, and so this is like you don't always have to misspell things, but just like stand out by showing that you're a human.
Yep. Content is officially a commodity, so now it's all about differentiation, standing out, being like, doing and sharing interesting and unique things. So
Yeah, human written content has a premium right now on it, which
go.
is
Well,
funny.
it is fun, but that's how it goes. But I think
Yes.
that's the pot.
Yeah, that's it.
Boom.